For the next couple of episodes, we are going to have a segment on safety. In this installment, we talk about seat belts. Fairly simple things you would imagine. They're thin straps that you pull and lock into a latch, but they're far more complex, and the history is absolutely fantastic. It all started in the aviation industry, and they were not given as standard items in the automotive industry until 1958. There is a lot to unpack here, so here you go.
If we have to name one of the most basic safety features of vehicles, the first thing you might think of is a seatbelt, right? This passive safety device is designed to secure the driver or passenger of a vehicle against harmful movement that may result during a collision or a sudden stop. But not just that, a seat belt, if buckled well, also guarantees the correct position of an occupant for effective deployment of airbags. Have you ever thought about who invented the seat belt and how it found use in automobiles? It was in the late 1800s when Sir George Cayley invented the first seat belt for his glider. It was then, in 1885, when an American named Edward J. Cloghorn patented the first automobile seat belt. It was a simple strap that would go across your lap and secure you to a fixed object. The next breakthrough for seatbelts came in 1946 by Dr. C. Hunter Sheldon. He made the retractable seatbelts. It was the mid-1900s when two American car manufacturers, Nash and Ford, decided to offer seatbelts as a purchasable option in cars. However, a company from Sweden named Saab was the first automobile company to provide seatbelts as standard fitment. During this time period, people were still trying to make seatbelts better. Another breakthrough in the history of seatbelts came in 1955, when two Americans named Roger W. Griswold and Hugh DeHaven designed the first iteration of the three-point seatbelt. It was later improved by Nils Bohlin. He made the modern three-point seatbelt which we use currently. Bohlin was hired by Volvo as chief safety engineer. At that time, a relative of the CEO of Volvo had died in a car accident, which prompted the company to promote car safety and make stronger and safer cars. Volvo could have made millions from this innovation, but it did not patent the technology, making it free to use for everyone in the interest of safety. It is estimated that since its inception till 2002, when Nils Bohlin died, the three-point seatbelt had saved over 1 million lives. Multiple studies found that seatbelts help in reducing fatal injuries, so governments started making them compulsory. The first place in the world to make seatbelt wearing compulsory was a state named Victoria in Australia in 1970. And now it is mandatory for the driver and front passenger in most countries, while many have started mandating it for the rear passengers as well. In September this year, former Tata Group chairman Cyrus Mistry was killed in a road accident in Maharashtra. According to reports, he was sitting in the rear seat and did not have his seatbelt on. The tragedy once again spotlighted the importance of wearing a seatbelt in the rear seats. Soon after, the government issued draft rules to make it mandatory for car makers to install an alarm system for rear seatbelts. Many states in India also issued orders to impose a fine for not wearing one. Over time, seatbelts have evolved with features like locking retractors, pretensioners, web clamps, and more recently we have seen the development of inflatable seatbelts. There is a high possibility of seatbelts evolving further, becoming more advanced and better with time. A simple piece of technology that saved millions of lives, and the count is still going. So don't forget to wear your seatbelt and make others wear it too.